Yo, what is up, YouTube? James Baek here, and today is not an episode of VGC 2019 Back-to-Back Battles, but today is a little bit of an update video. So, if you haven't been following me on social media, which I always highly recommend you do, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff in the description down below as always. But for those of you who haven't followed me on social media, as well as hasn't been keeping up on the latest updates of the Pokemon World Championship, which was this past weekend in Washington, D.C., I was competing. I did qualify for a Day 2 invite thanks to my high championship point number in the 2019 season. And yeah, recently I was able to finish 3rd place at the 2019 World Championship. And man, there are so many things I could say about this. Like, it's very happy, but at the same time bittersweet. I felt like there were a bunch of things that could have happened, but yeah, ended up finishing 3rd place. I got the little Pikachu trophy right next to me. I'm probably gonna box it up later because I'm always afraid of breaking this. I've heard some fragile stories about this trophy, and I think you could tell by like if you haven't watched that ceremony. Although I don't think that was the actual trophy. I'm pretty sure that was just like a replica they used for like a ceremonial purposes. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the actual trophy, and I'm pretty sure the kid got his fixed anyway if it was a real one. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. So yeah, but yeah, ended up getting a Pikachu trophy. Now this is pretty huge. My first World Championship, if people don't know, I started playing VGC way back in the day when it first started, back around the 2008-2009 era. I think 2009 is when I truly began, but I didn't know anything about competitive Pokemon. Like, I was that kid you could find who was just playing the games, having fun, didn't know any ounce of competitive knowledge at all. Was just playing these tournaments. Actually, my first tournament, I didn't even get to play my first tournament. Actually, it was 2009 Philadelphia. They had the lottery system back then, so yeah, you couldn't actually you had to win a lottery raffle in order to actually play that tournament. I actually didn't get to, but that might have been a blessing in disguise, because from what I remember about the team I was gonna bring, I thought Wobbuffet was broken. Yeah, let's try to forget about that. But then I kept playing at regionals. Ended up watching the 2013 World Championship when they first started to stream, and I think I didn't watch the actual stream. I watched through YouTube, like the videos that they uploaded, and that really started getting me into competitive Pokemon. So in 2014, I decided to go competitive and see how that would do. So 2014, I did aim for an invite. I did not get it. I couldn't go to many events. I think I only went to 2 or 3 regionals that year, and unfortunately, I didn't top cut any of them. I think I was like pretty short. I think I was either always going X3 or X2 bubble, but yeah. But then since Worlds was in Washington DC that year, I ended up going to Washington DC because it was pretty close by. My mom took me, and yeah, I competed in the Last Chance Qualifier. If you don't know, since we don't have a Last Chance Qualifier anymore, the Last Chance Qualifier is a tournament where it's a single elimination tournament, and you get to play elimination. You get to play a single elimination tournament throughout until the final 4 remain, and those final 4 get an invite to the main day event. And in that year, I was in the seniors division, and I actually did qualify for the World Championship. I went through the Last Chance Qualifier and ended up getting to the top 4 that year, so I was able to play in Worlds, which was really cool. I really enjoyed that Worlds. It's still probably my favorite Worlds just because it was my first Worlds. It was beautiful. Everything I loved about this game. Great people, great food, great Pokemon. It was just really enjoyable. And when I competed in the main day, unfortunately, I wasn't exactly the luckiest person in the world. I ended up going 3-3 at my first World, so wasn't able to top cut. I don't remember what I placed. I think it was like top 32 that year, but that's not exactly that great when there's only about, I think, a little bit over 60 main day participants. So yeah, which was actually funny because it was the last year that they had the Last Chance Qualifier. But ever since then, started competing, going through Masters since 2015 was actually Masters. ended up doing well in Masters, was able to go through, basically I was able to get a day 1 invite to the World Championship every year. So that was really nice. I was able to get through the day 1 qualifier for 2015, which was nice. I was able to top cut my first regional in 2015, as well as day 2 my first national. 2015 was my first national, by the way, and I was able to get top day 2, which was exactly what I needed for my Worlds invite, which was perfect. Then was able to get through day 1, and unfortunately wasn't that great in the day 2. And ever since then, I've been able to qualify 2014 to 2019, which is currently the present. I've been able to qualify, and now I've actually qualified for VGC 2020 Worlds already, because of the fact that I finished top 4 at the World Championship, which is already really nice, because London is always a place that I really wanted to go to since I skipped internationals. But yeah, this year has been pretty crazy. There are a lot of things that I'm gonna say. By the way, this video is probably gonna be me ranting, but just want to let you know about how much this probably means to me. So was able to go through, this year was pretty big. The fact that it was probably my biggest season overall for anyone who's been following me throughout the years of my content, especially. I think I started posting VGC content back in 2014, 2015-ish. 2015 was actually the birth year of VGC back-to-back battles, so that was always exciting. And yeah, it's been amazing how much growth, how much improvement that I've shown over the years. It's been incredible. The fact that this season alone was, oh man, where can I even start? Like 2018, I had to start, I think, there. Like that was when I won my first regional championship, and winning my first regional obviously means something, but I felt like I didn't feel like too much. I don't know why. I felt really good about how I was playing that tournament. I felt like I was pretty much playing on point pretty much the entire tournament, which I liked. And yeah, unfortunately I did fall short at nationals and worlds that year, so it was kind of a bittersweet. But 2019, let's say it was a roller coaster of a ride. So after getting eliminated in 2018 Worlds day 1, 6-2 to 6-3 in the last round to not advance to the day 2. I ended up playing the Open, and I believe making, I think it's top 16 or top 32, I don't remember, but that was like the top cut because it was an all X2 cut. But yeah, I thought, oh, maybe I can get a chance, maybe I can snowball, because they introduced the international system with like these championship point requirements in order to get these travel awards to other countries. And I thought, okay, maybe I can do it, especially since they changed how the system worked. So I actually had a travel award to Brazil, so I had a free trip to Brazil, and I was gonna take it. So I ended up going to Brazil, which I'll talk in a bit. But after, I want to talk about the Open. The Open obviously was able to finish some points, and that was pretty big because a lot of the day 2 players, you know, were playing day 2 obviously, so they couldn't play in the Open. So I already had a decent championship point lead. So Philadelphia comes, I get hacked out of the tournament, placing 33rd at the regional, missing points, and that was the only regional I was going to that accounted for the Oceania championship points travel award race. So basically, since they do the timeline thing, the Open was the only one that had championship points, and then there was also the regional. But yeah, the regional I bombed, and I couldn't go to any other regionals that timeline. So practiced really hard for Latin America. I was really starting to be frustrated in VGC. It was probably one of the few times that I actually wanted to quit VGC. Like, so basically I haven't really quit VGC, obviously, since I'm still playing, but 2016 was the one and only time other than this year that I really considered taking a break, or at least quitting. But 2019, after Philly and after getting frustrated in practicing for LIC, I got really frustrated and was really thinking about skipping the season. Maybe I would go for a day 1 invite, but I was thinking, really not feeling it. I really don't enjoy this format. LA's IC is probably going to be my last tournament for the season. That's what I thought to myself, and that's what I actually told people. I didn't tell anyone publicly, but yeah, that was actually what I thought about That was basically what was going through my mind at the time. But even though I still wasn't enjoying practice, like I wasn't having fun with the game, I still ended up practicing every day because I want to do well. So I ended up picking up the Torn Ogre team that everyone knows me well for, about a month before LAIC, and was practicing with it along with another team that I was debating about using, and I practiced every single day. LAIC happens, and then I'm able to finally top cut my first international. So I was able to finally get one of those trophies. Wish I could show it, but I don't have it with me currently. So I was able to get finally, and I thought, okay, this is really cool. Was able to continue on with this travel award system because I squeezed into 5th place, almost squeezed into 4th. I was a few points off, unfortunately, for the travel award. I got a stipend instead to Australia, but was, I put in all this work. Still wasn't enjoying the Pokemon as much, but I felt like LAIC showed me that, okay, maybe that there's still some hope for me in this game. So go to Roanoke the weekend after LAIC. I end up winning the tournament, knocking out Ashton, who did beat me in the finals of LAIC, in order to make it to the top cut, and then ended up winning 8 straight games in that top cut to win the tournament. So was feeling really good after that tournament. While I still wasn't enjoying playing as much, I really felt like that I was actually really doing well, and there was a bit more fun. Like I was starting to enjoy playing the team. So there was that, and then I took a break because I couldn't really travel anymore for like the next month or two. So then Moon Series comes. We have Australia coming up, and oh man, Moon Series is the worst series I've ever played. Like, it's probably the worst format I've ever played. In my personal opinion, it is the one I had the least fun playing. Like, it is my least favorite series of all time. It is actually below everything. I played competitively. So that's like between 2014 2019. Moon Series is the worst. I don't enjoy Moon Series. I told people this many times how much I openly dislike Moon Series. I really don't like Moon Series. So was struggling to find a team in Moon Series. I wasn't sure if the Torn Ogre team was going to be as effective, so I ended up testing a bunch of new stuff and got mediocre placements in Dallas, and then ended up going with the Torn Ogre team 1 week before the internets, because I was like, you know what, I've done well with this in Sun Series, I'll try it out for Moon Series. I changed my sets, try something a bit different, go into the tournament, making it another top 8. So ended up making a top 8 in that performance, getting a travel award to Berlin, which was really nice. And then we can basically fast forward. So basically, I know I'm going a little bit fast now, but basically went to Berlin. Didn't enjoy Ultra Series too much. I really didn't. Moon Series also left me in a pretty bad state at the end, because like one of the regionals that I went to, my flight got canceled. That was like the first and only time I've had like a flight canceled for like a regional event. But then again, I don't really fly out much. Like previously, I only went to 2-3 regionals before, and it would usually be by car or something. So first time, flight canceled, can't really do anything, so couldn't even have a chance to do well at a Moon Series regional. I mean, I got 10th at Toronto, but like, yeah, it wasn't exactly like the best, obviously. So then we go Ultra Series, do decent at Berlin. Not as well as I want to, but I had a lot of fun in Berlin, so I guess that ended up helping. I had a lot of fun at these internationals. Then we go to Ultra, where I won the first regional too. It was before Berlin, but that was with a different team. Top 4 in another regional. That was Hartford. Then started going in my lowest points, I feel like. I got 27th at Santa Clara, and then 12th at Madison regionals, which, were alright, but obviously I wanted to come back into that top cut. To be fair, I did top cut 2 regionals in Ultra Series, but it was like, I wanted more than that. I wanted to do really well. So NAIC comes around. I'm panicking for a team. I don't really have much of a team. So I go to NAIC and I'm like, oh, I am not doing well with the teams that I'm playing with, like a week before. So I decide to play Torn Ogre. I ended up using Torn Ogre once again to get 12th at the NAIC, which was pretty powerful, which I enjoyed. Still wasn't like super liking Ultra, but it was still like, it was definitely better than Moon. Let me just say, Ultra is definitely better than Moon. Ultra is definitely better than Moon in my opinion. But then we go to Worlds. I put in a lot of work for Worlds. I did take about half a month break between NAIC and then when I started practicing for Worlds because I didn't want to get too overwhelmed. So I ended up starting practicing. I ended up practicing about every day for a month before leading to Worlds. And yeah, all that work ended up paying off. I was finally able to do well. I was finally back in the day 2 stage. If you don't know, the last time I was in the day 2 setting of Worlds was 2016 when we actually had a restricted Pokemon allowed in the format. So we had that, and then finally was able to break the curse and finally was able to top cut my first internets. I actually started 0-1 in the tournament and ended up finishing 6-1 in Swiss, which guaranteed me a spot in the top 16, which I was super happy about because it was my first Worlds top cut, and I knew that with how I was playing that day, like I knew that I could do really well, like I could make a run. So top 16 happens, I'm able to pull out a really close set and then move on to top 8. If you don't know, you can watch my top 8 stream. It was streamed on Twitch on the official Pokemon account, the main stage. But yeah, I was able to win on the main stage too. Was able to go to top 4, and then I was able to take the first game pretty convincingly, and then it just started going downhill. I made some pretty aggressive plays that probably didn't make a lot of sense to anyone. It doesn't really make that much sense to me either, but I'll probably be explaining that in a war story that I will be writing in the future. Like I have a lot of plans for what I have content wise. There's going to be a war story, there's going to be a team report, there's going to be a season report, there's going to be a history of Torn Ogre report that I have, like a bunch of things that are coming out, so be sure to keep your eye out for it. But the fact is, I was super happy. Obviously I top cut my first world championship. I was able to make it into that top 4. I was able to earn a Pikachu trophy. Very few players can say that they have gotten a Pikachu trophy in their career, but the fact is, losing that game 1 into, winning that game 1 into losing the next 2 really sting, because I was 1 game away from the finals, the championship, and then potentially another set where I could have potentially won and then became the world championship. So bittersweet, sweep of bittersweet. I mean, it's amazing to reach top 4, and I'm super happy obviously about it, but like top 4 was my goal as well because I always wanted one of the Pikachu trophies, so that was great. But like it's like it stings when you come so close to something and then you just miss it. So yeah, it means a lot for my Worlds trophy. I probably didn't have to share my VGC history career because that's what I basically did in this video. This video was just actually supposed to be showcasing that I got 3rd place at Worlds, a story about it. Like I enjoyed Worlds. Worlds was great. It was a really great experience. If you haven't been to a World Championship, I highly recommend it. It's always a fun event. I was able to get 3rd place, but you know, missing that 1st place always does sting, especially since so many people were rooting for me. It just hurts to disappoint them, but what's done is done. I'll be looking forward to the competing next year and hopefully being able to claim the title, of course. But yeah, so I wanted to let everyone know about like what I planned for the future. As I mentioned before, there is going to be the team report, the war story. They're going to be separate. There's going to be a Ultra Series season report that I have, and then a history of Torn Ogre, like the Sun, Moon, and Ultra Series, like the transition between them and why I decided to use this team more. So if you want to know why I chose Torin Ogre, yeah, you could read that once it comes out, or watch that when it comes out. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but it's probably going to be some videos, so definitely highly recommend. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, of course I do start college, so hopefully I will be able to get those videos out relatively quick. But otherwise, yeah, I also will be continuing to upload VGC 2019 back-to-back battles. We're going to have the format continuing to I believe they said January, so we're not going to be doing VGC 2019 back to battles to January. I can definitely tell you that much. We are definitely not doing it. I still am not a huge fan of playing 2019, but what I can guarantee is we will have VGC 2019 content until Sword and Shield come out. Of course, I think I'll be playing at Latin America Internets the weekend it comes out. I won't be able to get like the Pokemon. I'll have to beat the game, so I would assume that content for Sword and Shield VGC, if they release the rules by then, if they release the rules by the time the game comes out, I want to say it'll be like a week after LAIC, hopefully, but or after Sword and Shield comes out, but hopefully we'll be able to start that content. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the future. Oh yeah, there's the little I forgot to show the card. The card is cool. Is cool. I don't know if you can see it because like the camera is not focusing, but card is really cool. But and I also hit the mic, which wasn't exactly good, but yeah, so those are the plans for the future right now. I have a lot of content planned for Sword and Shield. I have quite a bit. I also have been writing scripts, actually, like when you haven't seen me uploading, like I haven't been uploading that much recently compared to what I have been, like I think before Berlin, because my computer broke and then the momentum basically just screwed up. But I do have a lot of content planned. I'm gonna be writing guides and articles, for instance, efficient practice, like how I practice, tips that I can give for people in tournaments, team building guides will definitely be coming out of Sword and Shield when that comes out, and basically just new content, I think, to help players no matter what skill division you are in, because I feel like with I can finally say that I'm qualified to give this advice, I think. So I'll be giving out the information, the secrets to the success that I've had, and hopefully some of the people who are watching the content that I'm going to make will be able to find their own success. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. Just wanted to get that off my chest. But yeah, 3rd place at the World Championship, nothing to be ashamed about, something to be very proud of. I am very proud of it, and I want to thank everyone who was cheering me on, especially since I saw a lot of messages, a lot of things on Twitter. Really thank you everyone who has supported me throughout the way. I'm hoping to do well and redeem myself back in 2020 when Sword and Shield comes out. But thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch you all later.